Yeah, I know how I go, man. We just gonna hang out. I'm gonna be back in the green room and then get on camera soon enough. All right, yo. What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? What's happening? What's happening? We are live. We are live. It's the best day of the week. It is Brown and Balanced Day. This is your humble, gracious host, Josh Davis. Just want to send a shout out to everybody that's going to be tuning in. Say thank you for coming by. Come to see some of this black excellence that we're bringing on the screen. Today is going to be a dope episode, man. Today is girl power. You know what I mean? It's black woman magic, not black girl magic. It's black woman magic. Way back in 2017, we started Brown and Balance. You know, I never wanted Brown and Balance to be like the boys club. I never wanted it to be like just a bunch of dudes and just, us showing, what we can do, because honestly, without black women, I know me personally, I would be lost in life. You know what I mean? I have made it a key. I had a older gentleman, my uncle, God bless, who was very influential in my life and told me always surround yourself with strong, smart black women, and your life will be better. You will level up. And I can honestly say that I have leveled up many, many times because of that. And because of that, today on episode 3 of season 2, we have 3 just amazing. Amazing don't even, you know what I mean? Like, amazing, not even a big enough word to describe these 3 ladies. 2 of them, well, actually, I put like this. One I know very well. One is like me and her like this. One I have come to know very well, even though we argue about a few things. And one I'm getting to know since the pandemic started, and I see the moves she's making, the things she does, and she's just amazing. So we're going to get into our guests. But as always, we start our show off the right way. Man, rest in peace, George Floyd. Rest in peace, Breonna Taylor. Ahmaud Arbery, rest in peace. Botham Jean, everybody else we've lost in the last year and a half, 2 years due to unnecessary police violence and things. We got a little bit of accountability back, y'all, since the last Brown and Balanced. As you recall, if you tuned in 2 weeks ago, I came out with my hands up. Y'all see my screen name. It's Don't Shoot Me, because I'm just tired of waking up every time we want to do a Brown and Balance. And every day on the news, somebody new that looks like me or looks like one of my guests is coming on today is found dead and they're unarmed, and they're not resisting, and they're not doing all the other excuses that everybody puts out there. They're not doing none of that. And they still, for some reason, end up 6 feet under. So we got a little bit of accountability, but it doesn't stop there. We need to put the pressure on Louisville. We need to get them to get those 3 cops that burst in on that young lady while she was asleep and killed her, recklessly. We need to get that going. We got a lot. Dante Wright, we got one coming. It's like we need to keep this ball rolling and keep it going. So I definitely send my condolences to all the families of the people we've lost. But even in that, I feel a little bit better that something is getting started, right? At least one, is going to jail. There's been, I think I read a report since like 2007, 2008, it's been like 17,000, unarmed, people dying or being attacked. There's something bad with the police, and only one conviction. But guess what? We're getting that. I know Ahmaud Arbery's, there was something going on in the news this week. His killers, they got some Fed charges. So hopefully that'll keep this ball going. And we just need to keep it going and keep it going so that way this next generation has a little bit better than our generation has. So with that being said, y'all already know, y'all see what I got on, right? I had to bring the Campari hoodie back, man. It's been a while since I've worn it. We were wearing the normalized Black Bartender's gear, but shout out to Campari, y'all. Follow them on Instagram. Boom. See, my super producer is on it. We had a little snafu last week, but my super producer is the man. Shout out to Dave. But follow Campari Community on Instagram. Hey, and I know for a fact that the link to the Campari mailing list will be in the comments on Facebook or wherever you are watching this, and you'll be able to, get on that mailing list ASAP. You might get one of these. I don't know. I know somebody that knows somebody. That's how I got mine. You know what I mean? That's how one of our guests got hers. But hey, you never know what you need until you get it. So you might end up with something really cool in the mail coming up, as Campari does things throughout the year for all of us. I mean, I got that cool photo. I got that cool photo behind me. I got that cool photo behind me. I've got gifts in the mail. I've got just different things that I need, man, just keep my day going. Like I said, a few things that I've been able to implement using my everyday that have helped me out. Also, we're coming out of some quarantine. The world's opening up. People are getting vaccinated. I'm not here to tell you to do it, to not do it. That is your personal choice. I'm not going to get all off into all of that. But with the world opening up, guys, check on your strong friends. I know personally, I've had a really rough month. You know what I mean? This month has been one of the most trying ones in my life. Lost my pops. This week, lost a couple more people that were close to me that I knew. It's been wild, man. So check on your strong friends. Check on people's mental health, man. I was listening to Shaq on the All the Smoke podcast, and the big fella said something that really resonated with me yesterday. He said, "You never want to have that I should have moment." And I'm starting to have a lot of those, like, I should have reached out, or, man, I should have just called that cat one last time. I should have just checked on this person. I should have done that. And that's something that it really, really, really depends on who you are. It can stick with you, and it can really, really mess with your mental. So try not to have a lot of I should have moments. Let's start having those I did moments. Let's start having those I can't wait until the next time moments. All right. So with the world opening up, with us going back to work, let's make sure to check on our people. Let's make sure to check on each other and make sure even still we don't just fall back into the rat race. You know what I mean? That we were in before all this stuff happened over the past year and some change. Let's not just get back to what that routine, okay, back to work and working ourselves to death. Let's start to implement some of those things that we've learned through Brown and Balance, through other platforms that have had, health coaches and wellness coaches and mental health coaches and different people on to do different things like that. So, let's continue to build on what we've been doing since we've been shut down, and let's not fall right back into that just working ourselves to death, y'all. All right, so that was my spiel. Enough of me. Let's get to our guest. All right, so my first guest is a returning guest. I know she's down in the A. She's probably running around the garden, planting stuff. I tried to plant something after she came on last year and was teaching us, how to do a work out really good. So with that being said, Miss Keyatta, you want to come on the screen? She's back in the garden. She'll give us some more tips that hopefully I don't kill no more plants. All right. First of all, how are you?
I am wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing better. I'm trying, like I said, I was telling y'all in pre-pro, I just came from the gym. I'm trying to, keep my mental sharp. Happy anniversary to you and
Thank you.
Our brother Darius, who was on here for Black Artists Matter, the first guest of our new segment. So, thank you for letting us have him for those few minutes. And then now I'm gonna get out the way and let's let you just talk about what you've been up to and what's going on in the garden.
Oh my goodness, everything is going on. I do want to tell you, give my condolences to you. I know it was a rough week. I've been there. I've lost my dad too. So a rough month, I'll say. So I'm very sorry. There's no amount of sorries can fix it. Just know that I'm thinking of you. So, and you are one of my strong friends. So I do be checking on you. I do be heckling you too, but I check on you too. But the garden is incredible. In fact, today I was just going to give you guys a preview tour and kind of see where we are now. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to turn my camera so y'all can see. So normally when I get here, especially if it's just me by myself, this is the view that I have. Let me see if I can turn this around so y'all can see it. But I'm usually sitting here. And I don't know, can you see it?
Yep. Oh man, it looks good out there.
Yeah, this is and my little boots. People laugh at my little boots. But I'm normally here, and this is the back of the garden. So we have thrived. We actually are finally full. I know everybody was asking about the waiting list and everything, but it's one of those things, especially since it blew up as much as I did. In going through the list, I had to make sure whoever got invited would be a fit. You want to make sure you have the right people around the right people who are encouraging, people who, just don't just get applied and we're all taking care of it as opposed to them making the effort. So it was kind of hard, but we're finally full, all good. And we still have people on the waiting list. That's a good problem to have. It's a good problem to have. So I'm about to show y'all pretty much what A Sip of Paradise is all about. For those who don't know, we are a bartender community garden. It's something I started January last year, part of a big competition. Didn't win the competition, but came back and this thing blew up, bigger than me.
You won.
So
You won.
clearly I won.
You won.
But this is so beautiful. And I just want my friends to enjoy a little piece of something, especially with everything happening right now. It's so crazy. Have a little something. So I'm gonna give y'all a quick tour. And yeah, so this is one of the plots that belongs to the entire garden. And this is all the tomatoes. Like, I don't know if y'all know this, but tomatoes are jerks. They don't like to share their space. You know, they just do the most. So I kind of put them all in their own little thing. And we got a couple coming in right now. Can you see it?
Yeah. Oh, wow. All right.
Yep.
I thought
Already.
I thought that was an apple. That lets you know. I don't know about gardening.
This is another plot that belongs to everyone here. And I put some corn in the ground. This is corn. And because corn partners well with melons and squashes, I planted some squashes right next to it. So yeah, that's going to be going soon. This plot belongs to a member. She got some flowers in. It's a big plot too. Like, look, it's big. We have some cucumbers here. So I'm sure that will be delicious with the drink that y'all are going to talk about later.
Absolutely.
A brand bought this plot for members, and it's pretty much a tea plot. So anything that you can put in tea and dry, chamomile, lavender, some mint, lemon balm, like, it's insane. And of course, us being silly, we got a little pink flamingo in here. We were given a pineapple guava tree this year, so this is it.
That's dope.
It's little. Yeah. Mulberries are coming in. So, you know, people going to be over here grabbing them.
Mm-hmm.
Cocktails. We also got gifted an avocado tree. We might have to move this one. You know, they tend to burn sometimes, so we have to be careful with this one. We might have to move it and put it in a pot. Our little walkway here. We got some asparagus coming in. That's what it looks like before. It's crazy, right? Banana tree.
Oh, wow.
Some more lemon balm. This is a massive plot that belongs to a big brand. They're about to have a volunteer planting day. Get some stuff in. Another plot belongs to a big brand. They just had one and it's full. Got some lemongrass, strawberries. It's beautiful. Have you ever heard of mountain mint?
No, I have not.
So mountain mint is indigenous to Georgia. And it smells like fresh mint, spearmint, and winter mint all together. It's so beautiful.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. So again, these are things that members can play with. You can do what you want. Some flowers. Another member plot. Like, look at this.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, she got flowers. She got lettuces. She got some cabbage. Like, she's trying to eat. Serious, man. But this is beautiful, though, because this is what you can do for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Got another member that got some strawberries out here. And these are coming in nice. Yep. Man. Walking down the little walkway. I'm telling you, this is beautiful. This is my job now. This is what I get to do.
So now, are those all
Like,
like member plots? Are those like people individual, or are those like for your garden?
so these are all member plots. So in here, it's an allotment style garden.
Okay.
So out of the 40 plus plots that we have, 5 of them belong to everybody. Like those are 5 that we as the garden pick and we plant stuff in so people can just grab it,
Mm-hmm.
just in case their stuff's not blooming. But the rest of them belong to members. This is a member's plot. So it's this one. In fact, I'm about to show you Tiffany's plot in a second. But this is another member's plot. And they get really creative here. We even got an agave here.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Y'all out here for real, for real.
We doing it.
Love it.
We are doing it. So this is Tiffanie Barriere's plot. And Tiffany got a white picket fence, of course.
Come on now. Come on now.
She got some mint. She got some parsnips. She even got some okra in here, I think. I think she just put some okra in here. Yep, right here.
Oh wow.
So we'll see. She got some fennel. When she comes on, ask her about her fennel. That's a story.
I absolutely will. We gave away the special guest, but that's okay. I'll get to that. Don't worry about it.
I'm so sorry. Dang, I suck. My bad. My bad.
That's what happened on the live show. It's all good.
Oh my goodness, but this is just a beautiful space. We also had a new member this year that just put a pineapple in here. Look at that.
That's crazy.
But yeah, I mean, and we kept it going from last year. We have some new people in, and this is the beginning of this season, and just look how it's already coming together.
Right. So now, how long is the season going to roll? It's probably, because you guys don't really get cold like we get here. So how long is a typical season for you? So you say it's April, May until about what, maybe September?
We go till December. And honestly, people like Tiffany and a couple of other plots, their stuff is still there from last year. It kept going. And then we also put some stuff in pots to kind of keep it going because they were still blooming.
That's crazy.
The entire time. Yeah.
That's dope. That's really dope, for real. That is super dope.
Got some lettuces over here, kale. But okay, I'm gonna switch it back to me so we can answer some questions.
Right, because I know the comments got some questions in there. I know that. I definitely have one question as you're moving around, but I would love to know, are there any talks for you to possibly expand the garden into another space in Atlanta, or maybe, expand it to different states, different regions, different areas, anything like that?
Absolutely. So I've been in some real serious conversations with some developers. When the developer call you, that's a whole different conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So I have some partnerships in the work. A couple of those spaces will be here in Atlanta. The next location outside of the state of Georgia is going to be in California. And once everything fully opens up, they're going to fly us out there to assess it and keep going and see how it looks. But I want one in every major city. It's needed. We need this. Like, look how peaceful this is. Can you imagine?
Yeah, well,
I'm trying to do this in Chicago.
Well, you come to Chicago, you're only gonna get 2 good months of good weather. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You know what I mean? You're gonna get a real fast, just a couple of months of some really good weather. But I mean, it is peaceful. Like with everything that's going on in the world, I'm pretty sure that's your place of escape and kind of mental, health and regeneration and things like that.
Definitely. It definitely gives you a sense of accomplishment because you did something. You took your time, you put the time in, you put this in the ground, and it rewarded you with doing this. It rewarded you with growing it. And as your job, you should enjoy the rewards of what you get. So don't feel bad for picking something. Don't feel bad for eating what you grew. It did this for you.
Absolutely. I mean, it goes back to the times before time, right? Like you hunted what you ate, you killed what you ate, you grew what you ate. It takes you back into that hands on. I mean, with the last year and the way the last year is gone, I mean, shoot, that's probably one of the most impactful things like I've seen anybody do is what you've done in the garden. Like I said, I tried to grow one plant and it didn't work. It didn't work at all.
You know what?
Because I got the box you sent me, the box with everything.
Oh, yay!
Yeah. I'm trying to do this, and I was like, nope, this is not Josh. Josh I don't have a green thumb. You know what I mean? I got some flowers sent to me that didn't last that long. I just don't have that in there.
Oh, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I think that everybody has it, and honestly, it's one of those things, man. You can't take it personally if it doesn't grow at that point, because I did everything. I watered it, I did this, and it didn't grow. It's not a reflection on you. It's just a circumstance, and you're always getting ready for the next season. So maybe that soil was like, you know what? We're not gonna do nothing this year. We can do something next year. Because I can tell you right now, year before last, Darius and I were part of another community garden, and we planted so many tomatoes. Darius and I love tomatoes. We probably got maybe 3 tomatoes the whole year. And he took that as such a personal fail because he's from the country. His aunts them grow stuff. Like everybody he knows, like he got land in Temple, Georgia, like all kinds of stuff. We're sitting here and I'm looking at him like, this is not personal. Stop taking this personal. Last year, I think every tomato we tried to plant grew here last year because we have so many tomatoes. It was insane. Like everywhere. Like it was insane. But again, you can't take it personal if it doesn't happen. You just have to enjoy this for what it is. And like even if it's you being outside and not watching the news because it'll drive you crazy, or not on your phone, or those who are back working, you haven't punched a clock. You're on your time. This is for you. So, and that's what I want. I want to make sure I spread that message to everyone. And now phasing into a new part of this thing, because I want to keep this going. I feel like our industry needs it. We're still broken. Like it's a lot of people that left. A lot of people were like, I'm good. I met a homie that he was like, yeah, I had to start driving trucks. I got a baby. Like I got a wife and a baby. They got to eat.
Yeah. Hey,
like,
I want
to bar stuff is cool. Yeah. You got to do. Especially, especially as men, if as a man, if you feel like you can't take care of your family,
that's the worst feeling in the world. As a man,
feeling.
That is the worst feeling. Like, God bless. I talk with my dad. The one thing I know we always had, like, he missed all my basketball games. He missed band recitals, but them lights was on. Them groceries was always in the refrigerator. I didn't get everything I wanted. And I ain't get no Jordans. Like, that's why I'm such a shoe freak now. So I didn't get what I wanted, but everything we absolutely needed, we got. And that's just something that as a man, you watch that, you know what I mean? You see that, and it's like this last year, I'm like, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
I gotta flip it and do something because you have children just like me, like they ain't gonna stop growing. Prom and graduations and all that. That ain't nothing stopping.
Hold on. And Josh, we tall, so we got tall kids, we got big kids. Like
exactly.
My son is 15 and he's 6'4". Like what I'm looking at him in the house like, you gonna stop growing? What you just ate? You in the refrigerator again? Like, dang, what you doing? Put that back. You just ate.
Yeah,
I'm hungry. Like, goodness.
It's never gonna stop. It's not gonna stop. But I'm gonna tell you right now, get him in some sports. He'll stop eating as much because he'll be wanting to sleep more. He'll want to sleep more. That was what my mom did with us. Like we played baseball, basketball. We did all that different stuff. So that way, when we come home, we just tired. We just want to go to sleep, and we would just go to sleep. Everything in the house. So get them involved in something real fast. Put them in the garden, make them throw some dirt, and you know what I mean?
Oh no, he'll come and he's sweet. He'll come. He'll do. He's always like, okay. He's super sweet. He'll definitely do it. He's a nerd. He was an athlete for a while, but now he's kind of gone into like the computer nerdy stuff, which I'm not mad at. I'm not mad at that. But at least he ain't sitting at home looking at me. So he in his room always doing stuff. I'm like, I have to bust in his room and check his phone. Do arbitrary checks. Ain't nobody above being checked on their phone. My husband, my kids, everybody's phone getting checked from time to time. Kick this door in. What you doing? It's quiet in here. What you doing in here?
Right. Oh,
Okay.
you got it good. Ain't no closed doors in my house. I told my kids, I don't care how. Nope, y'all don't pay for nothing in here. No one can close the door except me. Doors stay open all the time. So I
Dog,
definitely
man, it's too late. I wish I thought of that. It's too late. I can't do that now. They're too old. I can't implement that.
Nobody that don't pay any bills can't close a door. So because you don't own nothing in here. So doors have
I love
it. Doors
I
have
love it.
But to switch a little bit, how are you personally? What's next for you? Like, what do you have going on outside of just the garden? Like, what's going? I've been seeing you all over the internet. You've been everywhere. I saw you on Chocolate City's Best. You know what I mean? I know you've been moving around doing your thing. So, like, what's on the horizon for Keyatta outside of losing in this versus battle? But go ahead, boy. What's next?
Don't. Okay, you know what? Okay. Now you're trying to shoot shots at me. I got you. When we smoke you and your feelings hurt, I got you. You'll be fine. We'll still be friends after I beat you. But what's going on with me is honestly, I am working on setting boundaries for myself because this whole thing has just showed me, especially now, I can't give people full access to me anymore like I used to. I can't do it.
I'm learning.
And it's a very hard lesson because I want to speak to everybody. I will work a room, honey. I'll talk to everybody. I can make a friend out of a stranger. And I can't do those things anymore. And it hurts my feelings, but I'm learning. I'm learning. Also, once I get this garden to a point, because my team is taking over more things and I'm not as hands-on as I used to be, but now I'm focusing on my next project, which is the gym project, which is my project for training young ladies back home in Liberia, ages 16 to 24, in hospitality and bar culture. And this is going to be the end game project. Like, this is a big project to the point that I'm taking teams of people to train these people. It's funny because I've been claiming a building. I got a building in Liberia. I got blessed with a building in Liberia, but I'm still waiting to get blessed with a building here. But I'm claiming it because it's happening.
Oh,
but yeah, I'm like, the homie Toure, we've been talking, like, I'm putting together strategic teams of people to take back home to my country so they can see that people of color can do certain things. And also I wanted to be really women strong because the women there, they're the help. Like, they washing the dishes, they cooking the food, but they're not getting the accolades. Like, they're not the chef this or anything. Like, nah, that's the girl in the back that cooked the food. And service there, especially with everything opening back up, like Hilton is coming there in 2024. Do you know how many jobs that's going to open up for people? A whole villa situation. And the thing is that with hotels and stuff, they'll bring in their own teams and won't even hire the locals. But I'm trying to get the locals ready for you so they can go ahead and get these jobs and get these same things and get these same benefits. And it's a big project, so I have to pace that one out. That's the end goal project. But yeah, all y'all comments. So I hope everybody got their passports because we going home.
We'll all be straight by the end. I'm very sure.
We going home.
Straight, man. That's dope.
I'm taking out of my country.
To circle back, though, I really appreciate you saying that whole, having access to everybody. Like, I ain't got to go into it, but I got an email from you, and I was at a moment during that email where I didn't want to talk to nobody either. You know what I mean? So I totally get where you're coming from and because we are getting pulled in so many different directions, and we still have families to attend to. But me personally, I never take my time for me. I just had somebody curse me out yesterday in my family. Like, dude, you there for everybody else, but you don't allow nobody to be there for you. So
exactly,
I totally feel you on that. That's something I'm working on too. So maybe we got to start us a little group chat, accountability group. You know what I mean? To be at it, for each other, like, because you strong, I'm strong, but we gotta allow ourselves to kind of take a step back and let other people be strong for us. So I totally respect that. You know what I mean? I'm a work in progress on that. So I'm glad somebody else is going through it. So now I can bounce my ideas and my craziness off of you a little bit.
Please, I'm here.
Yeah.
We don't always got to argue about Boys to Men and New Edition, even though Boys to Men murdered New Edition or whatever. We'll talk about that later. We gotta do all that.
We're doing that right now. But I will say that there's no Boys to Men without New Edition. But that's a whole nother story.
Touche.
Yeah, that's all.
Touche. I will give you that. I'll
Yeah.
give you that. But they took the torch and they kept it going. Just saying. I don't know. But we ain't gonna really talk about that though. We ain't
Yeah,
gonna
we
talk
ain't do that right now. We do that later. But yo, I just want to thank you for coming on. Thank you for coming on. Is there anything you want to leave the people with? One, how to find you, how to get us down to Atlanta and get in that garden with you. Just let the people know what's going on.
Absolutely. Thank you, super producer, for putting the tags up because I was going to say it, but you already got me. But no, anybody who is in Atlanta, if you feel like getting your hands in the dirt, come hang out with us. We are usually here. In fact, if you're in the city tomorrow and there's planes flying by because I'm outside, that's a helicopter. It might be a situation happening.
It's Ghetto Bird. Uh-oh.
Look, listen.
Uh-oh.
If you're in East Atlanta Village, come visit us. We're having an Earth Day festival tomorrow. So it was to make up for last weekend. We got like a whole hail tsunami storm, something going on here last weekend. But we have music, fun, and we're in East Atlanta Village. But yeah, just look us up. We have a website, asipofparadisegarden.org. We are a nonprofit. We're always accepting donations, good messages, love, anything. But yeah, if you feel like playing in the dirt and having a cocktail or mocktail, come hang out with us. We always have fun here. And, we're just a bunch of people always trying to have fun and do the right thing. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less.
Hey, to this Black woman magic, cheers to you.
Yes. Oh, my gosh. I drank all my shot. I drank all my water.
Right. There, yeah, no shots.
My water.
No shots.
No shots.
Yeah, no shots.
No shots.
Right. But no.
Water.
Cheers to you. You already know. Love you. Love the fam. Send the ride some love. Me and him still have a Kobe versus Mike argument we need to have soon.
Oh, so my God. Good luck with that.
I just feel like I argue with everybody in your household. That's just what it is. That's how you know you're really family, right? You know what I mean? So,
I know. I love it. So when you come down here, you need to bring the champagne.
Not a
I'm
problem.
going to take you out.
And
and we all gonna go hang out. Like, in fact, my daughter gonna get her license. She gonna drive. She gonna be the DD. So we gonna make her drive. Yep. We're gonna make her drive. Yep. She is gonna judge us and side eye us, but it's all right. She'll be all right.
Yeah, that don't bother me. I've been getting judged side eye all my life. That don't bother me none. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. We'll make that happen. I thank you. And again, you'll be back on this season with some more gardening tips and tricks. So thank you for coming on.
Definitely.
All right, definitely. So that was Better Cribs and Gardening with Keyatta. Keyatta's dope. I mean, we do argue like big brother, little sister, man, but she's super dope, super great, man. I love everything she brings to the industry, the fire, the passion, like as an old bartender, who's been in the game for a long time, people like Keyatta keep me, feeling young and really wanting to keep growing in the industry because she takes things that some of us have done, early in our careers, and she's remixing it and just, throwing it out there. Which brings us to our next segment, right? So we had another new segment. So you remember the very first episode we did, the Black Artists Matter. More on those coming soon. We got some more Black Artists Matter segments coming. But I created a new segment called OG Talk. And, OGs, people consider OGs as old people, right? Like, I'm from the hood. So like the older guys, the guys like your uncles and them, them like the OGs. Them the guys you listen to, they've done what you're doing. They've seen everything you're seeing. They know when you're making a mistake. They can guide you if you listen. And a lot of us as Black bartenders in this industry, we really didn't have a lot of OGs. We had 7 of them though. As you guys know, I created the OG 7 T-shirt to come out, for those amazing people in the game. But you figure an entire country, it's thousands of Black bartenders all over this country, and we had 7 people to look at. And some of us, myself included, took those 7 and we got close to them and we soaked up as much game and as much knowledge of them as we can to now, 16 years later in the game. Some people look at me like an OG. I don't really embrace that yet because I still feel young, but there are some people that look at myself and a few other of my people that came up with me as OG. So with that being said, why not have an OG talk section, but not an OG talk session just for me, right? I'm not that guy. I don't want to be the one just talking to people all the time. I'm going to bring in people that I look up to that are my contemporaries and they are my friends. Some of them are like family, like the person that's coming on now. But these are people that I learned from. When I have questions, I ask them. So without further ado, we're going back to Atlanta. We're going to the, there's only two people in East Atlanta that's famous. One is Gucci Mane, and the second one is my next guest, Miss Tiffanie Barriere, that's coming on the screen right now. yeah. You and Gucci, that's it. You know what I mean? So first, how are you?
Today is a good day. Today is a good day. It's not so bad. We see little baby steps happening. Just every increment counts. So today's okay. Tomorrow I may not say the same, but I'm good today.
Well, first of all, I ain't smiled in a month, and then you smiled and you got on camera, and then that made me smile. So today's a great day for me.
You make me smile. I was so happy to see your face today, and my heart, as always, my heart is always with you. My heart has been with you since the moment we met. And I've ridden this roller coaster with you. It's so unfortunate that Keyatta said the same thing. Since I also lost my father. I lost him last year. Nothing compares to this feeling. But there is a moment of living the legacy that does help to breathe. And I'm here for you. My heart is with you for sure.
Always there for me. I mean, me and you is me and you, dog. Like, this is beyond bartending, all that other stuff. Like, this is just us. Like, we've had real conversations, real moments. We've done real things together. Like, we don't, this is not it for us, right? Like, that's the one thing when I did this OG thing, and I was like, wow, like, who can I hit up that they understand the entire game, right? They don't understand just, okay, you go to the bar and this is what you are to be successful, but Tiff knows like how to be successful outside of the bar, which will make you successful inside the bar. And I think that's something that gets lost in the game we're in now. So I'm gonna just give you the floor and just say, let the people know. I don't know who don't know you, but they dumb if they don't. But if they don't know you, tell them, how you kind of got in this game, your story, getting in, coming up, and then we'll move into all the other stuff after that.
We'll make this quick. We ain't got all afternoon, okay?
Yes, we do.
No, we don't. We don't. And that's a lot of pressure that I know everything about this game. I don't know everything about this game, but I do understand how to play games. You know how it is when you go to someone's house and they go, you know how to play this if you play spades or dominoes, or if it's a game night and you may not know how to play, but you don't say no. It takes you a little bit, you catch on, you play the game. Do you win all the time? You might just figure out the strategy. For those that don't know me, I love you. You don't have to know me, but I am definitely to the right side of Josh Davis. Always trying to make an impact, always trying to be present, always wanting to create culture with the cocktail. I love service. I really love service. Hospitality is my heart. I'm from the South all day. And I have always been in the restaurant, not because my parents owned it. Like legit, I played restaurant as a kid. I laid the Cabbage Patches out. I didn't play Tea Party. I played restaurant. Like may I take your order type stuff. My mother thought it was so cute, but the pictures of me with the little apron and my little easy bake oven, like I legit wanted to cook and serve for people. I never really realized it in a way of like, this is what the ancestor did. This is what, my grandma did. This is a maid kind of service. I just thought it was just amazing that I could cook and drink and make money in the same space. I carried that on through my very first job was a restaurant. I was hired under the table. They did not know my age. They didn't even ask my age. They just said, you're hired. And I started working in casual dining like some of us did. And I was with it. I was all over it. Like, you want it? I got it. All you have to do is take an order. May I get? I was like, yes. And so I moved up pretty quickly because I know how to take direction. I love a little direction because I'm all over the place. If you tell me, I'm like, okay, just show me where it's at. Give me the tools. And I got it. I executed casual dining all the way up until I just for a little bit. And then I worked for a steakhouse. And you know how steakhouses rock it. Heavy wine, proper whiskey steak. You need to know temperatures. You need to know all the things, plus a little stuffy in the steakhouse. So I understood people. It didn't seem like a nag to me or a bother. And then I ran into two incredible Black chefs here in Atlanta who had a vision of a lifetime. They really wanted to open up something on another scale, a style of food and beverage that was just Black driven. The first mayor of Atlanta was Maynard Jackson, and Maynard Jackson had a one of his missions and visions for the city was to show global hospitality from the South. The South is known for a lot of crap, a lot of heavyweight, a lot of suppression, a lot of that. But there's some beautiful flowers that come out of the South, and the goal was to show our culture on the plate and in the glass. So boom, I get the job. We in that thing. It happened to be in the airport, One Flew South, which is named after Maynard Jackson. Black owned, Black everything. And at that point, I realized working with those two chefs, I knew at this point that I no longer had to pretend or figure out what to do. I just had to be myself, which we'll get to that part later. But I cut my hair instantly. I know I didn't have to figure out what I was going to look like, how I was going to be. I just wanted to be who I wanted to be. And I was sick of my hair too. I was just had this mess. And we kicked it. We bust doors down. We received every award you could possibly think of in food and beverage and service, all the things you can think of. And then once I realized what hospitality really was, because when you're working in the airport, and this is no shade to work in the street side or a hotel, when you work in an airport, if you ain't hospitable, and if you ain't fast, because the mood is set instantly in the airport. There is a frown, there's a fear, there's a speed, there's an entitlement, and if you can execute that, then you're crushing it. So once I really figured out what hospitality was, and we started to get awarded for it, you can only make it so high on the ladder. And I thought, if I don't own one of these, if I don't make my own booze or what you think you're supposed to do as a bartender, you bartend, now what? I wanted to really build around what made my heart beat, what my pulse was, what made me sleep well at night, or what made me a little restless. And that was to continue like quality service, hands down, and fast and efficient and fly and innovative and Black.
Yeah.
I focused on trying to connect the dots. This sounds good now, but when I left One Flew South, I had no idea what I was going to do.
I remember.
I cried, Josh. I cried almost every single day.
I remember.
6, 7, 8 months. I woke up every day with anxiety. I mean, you have the perfect job, but it's just not perfect. And for you it is, because I was making so much money for everyone. I was focusing on everyone, and I wasn't focused on me. So
I remember. Look, to let the audience know how far back me and you, I still have all those text messages in my phone. Because I've never cleared out, any of my texts. And I still have. I was looking today when we were in pre-pro. That's why I was able to send you some of those pictures. Like, we really go back. I remember all of what you're talking about. Like, I remember y'all winning all those awards at Tails. I was there with you and Toke and Dwayne. You know what I mean? And I was just like, wow, like they are dope. They are amazing. And we all met through happenstance. Like we met through social media, literally. And we've built, these friendships and relationships from them. But to go back to them early days, like you, myself, Mike, Ash, and a few of us, we were carrying that Black bartender flag long before it was popular. And that's not a knock on anybody that's pushing the flag now. It's not a knock at all. What y'all got to realize and understand is 2008, 2009, 2010, it wasn't.
It was nobody.
It was us. Like, it was literally
we looked like polka dots. We looked like this on my shoe. We looked like polka dots.
For real. It was us.
We didn't know anything. I remember meeting you. I remember Toki we were working together. Those that don't know Tokiwa Sears, check her out, Miss Libation. I'll holla out all day long. Mastermind genius. She was working alongside of me, and she said, there's some people doing it in Chicago. And I was like, what? They got some in DC. They got some. I was like, wait, there's other Black bartenders. And this is not to talk about other cultures in bartending. It just, you don't see many other Black, at this time, we just didn't see a lot of Black bartenders at this level, because it was just seeing that Black bartenders need to work in bowling alleys, clubs,
Applebee's.
We just weren't seeing. You just didn't see a Black bartender, male or female, that even knew what vermouth was. Like you were just like, wait, you show me your. We would carry our tools. Remember, look at my tools. You know, it was just so.
We were so proud of all of that, you know, back then. Like President Company, like I was a club bartender. I was a bouncer in the club bartender, and I discovered, you know, quote unquote mixology, and then I met all y'all, and I was like, yo, they're way doper than I am. You know what I mean? I was like, hey, let me learn from them too. You know, that's why I was like, it's so important that, you know, sometimes your OGs are your contemporaries. You know what I mean? Like I've always, when we've had things going on. Tiff, what you think about this? I remember texting you. This is a funny story. I was in a competition. I'm not gonna say what brand, but I was in a competition. It was a brown spirit, and I was stuck, and I was literally there. And I made it to the final round. It was like a drink off between me and one guy. We both had to make drinks on the fly. And I snuck in the bathroom and text Tiffany. And was like, yo, this is what I'm thinking. What you think? And she readjusted the cocktail for me a little bit. Came in second, but it was like just the fact that we had that type of bond and partnership and relationship is very important in our industry. And I don't see a lot of that anymore, right? I see a lot of these kids coming up and they get the whole world handed to them because of some of the doors yourself and myself and a few others kind of kicked in and kicked down and forced our way in. So looking back now over the last 10 years for you, like what would you tell a young Tiffany or a young Josh how to play the game because of what you have experienced over the last 10 years that's coming in the game now?
Okay. I'm not going to say what I know we should. No. Okay. So by no means am I, the best at these things, because you learn things through trial and error. You're not going to learn if you all mess up. Like, so there's no perfection here. So messing up is the thing. I messed up a whole lot. Like I fell down, I dropped things, I threw things, I didn't get along. I messed up a lot. I also became an introvert because as personable as I am, and I could be at work, I love to shut off. And Josh, you know that. You got to find me. Like, where's Tiff? I duck off just for the safety of my own balance. And that's just the mental health of it. But we'll speak on that shortly. There is a myth going around about bartenders and the style and our technique, maybe your connections and your resources, that I want to just get rid of it completely, because I wish someone would have told me this, because it just results to the words like the cliche of crabs in a bucket. We have to share what we're doing. You are not the best at what you're doing. I know we bossing it. Oh, you got it. Yeah. But you're not. I mean, you're not the best of it. And the best way to gain is to give. This fist cannot receive nothing if it's tight like this. So I wish someone would have told me early on, share a little bit more, instead of thinking that my program or my connection or my clique was the thing, because we weren't. I mean, we were cool. We represented the South. Like, there's nothing wrong with having that circle. But you've got to, every time you gain something, you got to share it so that you can be documented. Documented in multiple ways. Like, we're bartending for the money, for the guests, for the brand, or whatever reasons you're bartending for. But the legacy is where it stays. Wouldn't it be an honor to see your drink made other places? Like, that's one of my ultimate goals, is to see my drink made by the people in the comment chat. Like, just to see my drink made, like you did it, I'm like, oh man, like that must have worked. So I wish that someone would have told me to share a little bit more versus just my restaurant group, my clique, my city. I wanted to, if I share with more my style, then maybe we could be on to something. And then that flips the coin of how much you listen. You have to listen. You got to shut up sometimes.
I'm
How
learning
many
that
times have
too.
you been in the room and you like, but wait, you have to allow a piece of yourself to become complete hospitality also. You may not like said person, but if you listen to said person, you might be able to like understand why said person is this way, says it this way, or if you're going to correct this person, be sure that when you come correct, you got the facts. And if you don't have the facts about said person, you can't come for them. You
Man,
just can't. You can't. This is about relationships. This is
man,
not about friendships. This is about relationship and network. I don't have to like you, but we all know this. I gotta respect you. And if you're gonna be in this game, know that there's a lot of money out here to be made, a lot of bottles out here to be poured, a lot of jobs out here to be taken. You gotta just, you don't have to drink the Kool-Aid, but you better know how to make it. You gotta know how to make that thing. You know how much sugar it needs to be. You know how
you
red you want it to look.
you just pour it till the ancestors tap you on the shoulders. That's good.
That's enough.
That's enough.
That's enough.
Absolutely.
And don't forget who you are. If you're trying to figure out what to do, just go back to who you are. Like legit, I've been lost on what to do. Like, where am I going to go? Ambassador, brand, like what am I going to do? Realize what you are good at. And if you're good at
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. There's so many people that I admire now because they've reminded us that they're not just a bartender.
Yeah.
But there is a way to tie your craft, your love, who you are into bartending because it's full hospitality. And just be yourself. Just be the weirdo that you are. And don't think you ain't weird because you are.
Yeah, nothing wrong with being weird. Yeah, my son told me that. He's like, my youngest, Quan was like, hey, Dad, I'm weird. I said, that's okay. Because that means there's only one you, fam. Just
Yeah.
be the best weirdo you can be. You know what I
Be
mean?
the
That's
best.
how I've gotten through my life.
My baby cousin's the same way. My other cousins, I get offended when I hear the word weird. People are like, I'm weird. And I'm like, who said this was a negative condensation? Like, why is this a bad thing? Weird is amazing. Weird is unique. Weird is genius.
Absolutely.
And I want to see more weirdness. If we don't get weird, then we're going to stay beige. We're going to keep seeing these khaki pants. And we're going to keep, I'm not going to say the B word, but we're going to keep being. And I'm tired of being. I'm tired. I'm so tired of being. So
well, you've never been. That's the one thing I've always loved about you. Like, no, well, okay. Well, in my experience with you, in the last 12 years I've known you, you've always been Tiff. You ain't never just, okay, I'm gonna just go with the flow. You don't do that. That's not you.
No.
Because we wouldn't have been able to be what we are if you did that. Like I'm not. People like that, I don't really flow with too well because I'm like, why are you playing? You playing yourself, man. I'm like, you running up behind and you doing this, you doing that, and then it's not gonna get you any further.
Yeah,
well, just be you. You know what I mean?
You're either gonna speak up or you're gonna step out. Our emotions are gonna move on two things: fear and love. If you're in a situation you don't like, either you need to say something about it or exit with a strategy. You gotta have some kind of strategy, even though you may not know exactly what you're doing. Let's zone in on why you left, and then pick up and just keep nourishing that thing and keep messing up. You're not gonna learn if you mess up.
I swear you not.
You're gonna have to mess up. Like this perfection thing, this I want to be perfect. I don't want to let people down thing has gotta go. You gotta let that thing go. You have to really mess up and sit in it.
Yeah, you miss all the shots you don't take. You know what I mean? That's it. You can go 9 for 20 one night, but if you hit the game winner, what does it matter? Just keep shooting. You feel me?
Keep shooting. It's not over. It's not over.
Okay. So look, before we get you out of here, because you know me and you can talk all day, and I know I gotta get to my featured bartender because me and you can do this literally all day long. So OG Talks is gonna be coming back, you know, a couple more times this season. You're the kickoff, so it ain't gonna get no better than this first guest. But who would you like to see? Who are some of the OGs you look at that you would like to see come on OG Talks and spread some of their knowledge?
Oh, I need Colin all day. Colin has a structured, OG, fun, but mature way of making this bread. And that's who I always want. I mean, I never get bored of his mentorship and lead. Some people are just like, yeah, Colin. No, the space that gentleman is in is incredible. I will also and always love, because my heart is to her and we text every day, even though she's been down for a few weeks, is T. Franklin.
Prayer.
Tracy can get in this mug and knock it down. Tracy is a heartbeat, and her feminine touch to our industry, yet firm aggression, makes me happy. Followed by, you know, A. Barry. Knock these O's together. Oops. Oh, crap.
I got you. All right. Well, look, I froze up a little bit, so I missed the last part of what you said.
Okay, good. Great. Sorry.
Here's the last part. But honestly, though, I appreciate you, Tiff. You know how we do. Like I said, I met you at Tails 20 something. We ain't gonna tell you 20 something. You know what I mean? I'll never forget. You came in that room and you texted me, I'm here, and you ran in Monteleone and beeline straight to me and literally jumped into my arms. I was trying to find that picture so we could post it by Super Producer today, but I couldn't find it in time. But I ain't never put you down there, and I ain't gonna put you down now. I appreciate you for coming on and sharing your knowledge and everything that you've done. You've helped my life in personal ways and in professional ways, and I could never repay you for the things you've done for me. So before we get you out of here, man, tell the people how to find you and how to get a piece of some of that Tiff knowledge, because you got to always protect yourself and protect your own mental.
I'm the drinking coach all over the place. You see it right over there. I'm a drinking coach all over the place, all the social platforms. I'm extremely approachable. If you don't have my number, you can get my number. Slide in the DM, chat with me. I love, love, love coaching you, just not on drinking, but the game, the work, the style, the network. I have so much to give, so come at me. And stay tuned to the book, because you know it's coming. I finally had a chance to put it out there this week. And as much as I'm trying to give, and thank you earlier, Josh, for saying that we got to check on our strong friends. Y'all give to me, because I'm so encouraged by seeing all the movements in this community, platforms like this. Come to me. Check on me. I know I look, cool and strong on the front cover and whatnot. But check on me.
Always. We do our checks. I'll get a random 6 a.m. text from you, and I know what it is. So thank you. I really appreciate you coming on and being a part of this.
143, boo.
Oh, 143 all day, baby. All right. So y'all, everybody, that was Tiff before we get all in the fields and I start crying on camera again. That was Tiff. I mean, just amazing. That's like I said, black woman magic. We're not gonna say black girl magic anymore. Black woman magic, man. She's just an amazing person to be around. If you ever get time, like she said, please hit her up. Jump in them DMs. Come correct though, because her brother is over here. So come correct when you do it, and definitely try to get in tune with her, with Keyatta. They also work together in the garden. I mean, it's just so many dope things that she does over time. So. Before we move on to our featured bartender, y'all already know what it is. Campari community, hit the IG, man. I tell y'all every week, man. I know y'all are doing it. Just follow them on IG. They have a ton of just content and things they're putting out almost daily. They put a calendar out of all things they have coming up daily, and then you hit that splash that's down there it's coming over the screen. You hit that, and you get on the mailing list, and you find out even more things that they have going on. So please, y'all, for me, let's do it. All right. So with that being said, we are moving on to our featured bartender, brought to us by our good friends over at Thirsty. Also, shout out to Thirsty. Tara, I know she's in the chat. I can't see the comments, but I know she's in there. Y'all follow Thirsty. Tara's doing some amazing work. Casey, Tara, the whole team over there, they're doing amazing work, helping us. You know, I don't want to say me because it's not just me, but us put out and get these stories out of all these amazing brown and black bartenders, man, across the world. So, yo, go to the IG, hit Thirsty on Facebook, jump in the chat, jump in the in the comments. There's always thought-provoking things. There's a ton of industry people in there that are commenting and offering insights. And you never know, like I said, you never know what you need till you get it, and you might get it from there. All right. So our featured bartender this week, Miss Tamu Curtis, all the way from Charlotte by way of Oakland. I met her online over the pandemic. We was online meeting, never met her in person, still haven't met her in person yet. We're going to change that one day soon. But she has a dope, amazing, different kind of story of how she is who she is. So I'm going to get out the way. And I'm going to just tell you, hey, tell other people how you got in the industry, where you're from, what you do, and how you got to where you are now.
That's a lot. That's a lot. Thank you so much, though, for, contacting me and, kind of recognizing my story, what I'm doing. I'm here in Charlotte, North Carolina, by way of Oakland, California, Cali girl for life. But yeah, so I have been here since probably 2012. And, my background had been in marketing. I always worked behind a desk. How I got into hospitality, how I've created this business is, I don't even know where to start. It is quite a story. But yeah, I moved to Charlotte, North Carolina, and I started a company called Liberate Your Palate. And it was really all about creating beverage experiences. I'm somebody who likes to go out to dinner and to drink with friends and laugh and sit at the bar, talk to the bartender, get kicked out of the bar because, the bar is closing. I'm that person. I've always been that person. And I moved to Charlotte and I wasn't really getting that experience. I'd moved from LA. So I moved here, it was different. Now I'm out at bars, I'm drinking, Tito's and cranberry out of red cups. And I was like, I thought I graduated from that. But Charlotte was growing at the time, which meant there was more food and beverage offerings, but people were still kind of comfortable going to the same restaurants that they've always gone to. So I started something called the Liberate Your Palate Craft Cocktail Tour. And, with that, you could buy a passbook and go to different restaurants around the city that I deemed someplace that I wanted to go and sit down at the bar and have a drink and have a little bite to eat. And you could get your book stamped and go to different restaurants. And from there, that grew into going into Charleston, South Carolina. So it was a really great program. Like I said, my background was in marketing, so I kind of knew how to route a program, kind of how to contact restaurants, get them on board. It's a lot of business on the back end, more so than just showing up at the bar like, hey, let me get that $5 drink. Somebody has to do all that work. Right. So what happened was I really got immersed into the hospitality industry. I started having friends who were bartenders because I would sit at the bar with them and drink with them all night long. I'd ask questions. I have a great palate. I love food from everywhere. There's not anything you can name that I wouldn't eat, right? And I kind of think about the same way with cocktails, right? It's just all about expanding your palate. So that's why cocktails and me kind of work together. And, from there, I did the classes. I'm sorry, not the classes, but I did the tour for a couple of years. And they just got a lot to manage as Charlotte grew as a city and trying to manage all the restaurants and the passbook and consumers and social media. But I had a chance to take a cocktail class. And I thought it was the coolest thing because while I was doing all this, and I was like, I know where to go find the best drinks, the best experience, the best food. I didn't know how to make, I didn't know anything about making cocktail. Like literally, like I probably didn't know the difference between cognac and like whiskey. It was just like all on the dark liquor category, right? So I took this one simple little cocktail class for a gin brand. And I just thought it was so cool to learn how to make cocktails. And I made my 3 little cocktails and I was like, oh, I'm a badass. And I said, but I want to do this for my followers. I want to do this for the people who follow me on social media. People who are me, the at-home bartender that might like this experience, but doesn't know anything about cocktails or how to make them. So I said, I'm gonna do cocktail classes.
What?
But I only knew how to make those 3 cocktails. So 3 gin cocktails. That's all I knew how to make with the same gin. So that wasn't gonna work. So I had different bartenders that from around the city that would teach the classes, and I kind of was like in the background, marketing, dealing with ticket sales, finding our pop-up location, cleaning, buying everything, doing everything. I did everything. I would just sit in the back of the class. Mm-hmm. But I would overhear like the guest and what they were missing in the experience. I understood what I was missing in the experience because when I'm dealing with a bartender who assumes that people know certain things, they know how to open a shaker. No, the average person does not open a cocktail shaker. They don't, and starting with really educating people from A to Z, from how to use bar tools, certain techniques, right? A little bit of education on the spirit they're using, right? And I saw these things that were missing because an industry professional assumes that everybody's going to know that. So I just started refining the classes in 2018. I was empowered to start making cocktails, and here we are now. Today, I teach the cocktail classes. I've been doing them since 2018. We've probably done, I don't know, maybe if I add in the pandemic, maybe 300 to 400 cocktail classes. I can't even keep count. It's a lot. It really was received well by the community. I'm all about experience. It's great to go to dinner and sit down and have a cocktail, but also sometimes they get boring and you want to do something else, right? You want to do something. I like to drink. You know what I mean? Like I like to drink. I like to drink and I like to eat. That's what I like to do. But sometimes I don't just always just want to go to the restaurant and have cocktails and, eat. But how about we make our own cocktails in a fun, vibrant, exciting environment, right? And we're still drinking. And then we can go to dinner afterwards. So that's kind of what it is. It's really about just bringing people together to have a good time at a cocktail party where you make your own cocktails. And then
I love it. Yeah, that's the one big thing quarantine brought on. I know I've been doing a ton of them here at my home. You've taken, what some of us have done in our homes to a whole another level. So, kudos and respect and shouts out to you.
Yeah, I want people to make better drinks at home because when you invite me over to your home, I don't want your lame margarita with the sour mix that you bought at the grocery store.
I don't want you
to know how to make a proper margarita. Exactly. I want you to know how to make proper drinks, and it doesn't have to be difficult because I'm not coming over. Like I'm like womp womp womp.
Absolutely.
I'm kind of being selfish. It's really about me and making sure everybody around me is drinking better.
But usually the thing is though, if you're feeling good, everybody around you will feel good. So one person that's not feeling things will bring the whole party down. So I totally respect that vibe. The one thing I do love while I'm listening to your story though, it's like, wow, I found that most of us, brown, black, whatever, we have some very humble beginnings. Like you weren't a bartender, and now look at what you accomplished.
Yeah.
We weren't career mom and dad own bars, and we just kind of grew up in the industry. We all kind of figured out our own way into who we are. You know what I mean? So with that, like, what would be some advice? Somebody up and coming, because I know I get the questions all the time. People that want to do cocktail classes and they want to do things like the cocktaillery and stuff like that. Like, what would advice you would give someone?
You have to be fearless and you have to believe in yourself, regardless of what anybody thinks. For a long, not for a long time, but there was always this imposter or this idea I had in my head that I wasn't good enough because I didn't work behind the bar. So therefore my credibility wasn't good enough or my knowledge wasn't good enough because you don't know me from working behind the bar, right? So how do you have this credibility to teach people how to make cocktails? Because you didn't work in a restaurant. You know what I mean? So that was the hardest thing. And so I think for me to overcome that, it was really just all about being fearless and knowing that I had a different voice and a different perspective and who I was engaging. You know, what I do is very specific to the at-home bartender. You know what I always say, I'm not trying to teach bartenders, right? I'm pretty slow behind the bar. I'm slow. And if I got to be fast, I'm batching everything before I come, and I'm just pouring and putting a garnish on. Okay, I'm trying to cut down all steps because I'm slow behind the bar. Yeah, you know, so you have to know what you're good at, right? So I know I'm good at offering an experience. I know I'm good at engaging people into doing that. But yeah, so for me, it was always feeling not welcomed or having this, maybe I felt in my head not welcomed, but still being true to what it is that you believe in. You don't have to always work behind a bar. There's so many education classes you can take. There are webinars, you know, you can join your local Bartenders Guild. So there's so many ways that you can educate yourself. Also, like I said, I spent a lot of time sitting at the bars, talking to bartenders, you know, like what is in the, how did you do this? And because I love to cook, you know, that's something I probably say I'm a better cook than a cocktail maker, but it's just really just asking questions, you know what I mean? And not being afraid. So I always bouncing things off of people that are able to work in the bars. One thing though, it gets expensive being on my own because I have to buy all of my products. Right. So I can't, you know, there's no boss for me to, hey, can you buy me this? Can you buy me this? So I can try out recipes. So it does get expensive, especially in the beginning, being like a solopreneur, because there is nobody to, you know, if I got to buy all the liquor, I got to buy all the liquor. Right. Mm-hmm. So that was the thing. But really for me, it was really just about being confident and being fearless. And for me, it was also about this experience I was offering. It is about education, but it's also about how people are interacting and engaging with the experience. And that's where that hospitality part of me comes from, is that I want people to have a good time. I want them to walk away with something. And I also want them to learn. Okay, so we're going to have fun, but I want you to make better cocktails.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. Well, yo, what's coming next? What's going on with the cocktailery? I know you spoke on it a bit, but let's tell everybody what that is, how to get it. And I need to get some bar tools from you too, by the way, but you know, we'll talk about that.
That's what I got coming up, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Yes, I did.
So the Liberate Your Palate has been doing these pop-up classes for, you know, like I said, maybe 2016. One thing that I found was it's really difficult to find these spaces that were affordable for me. Then I'm bringing in all the equipment, laying everything out. You come to a class, you sit down, you have your shakers, your jiggers, your strainers, everything you need to make cocktails, your ingredients. And it just was really getting tiring. Also, what I found was people would come to the class, they would learn how to make these cocktails and they'd be like, oh, I love this. This is so good. I want to make cocktails at home. So they go home and they're posting on social media, like, I took this Liberate Your Palate cocktail class, and they're shaking their ingredients in a mason jar, or, you know, just something like I would never recommend, you know, or they're buying it on Amazon. And so for me, I was like, there's a whole different stream of revenue that I'm missing out on, you know. So part of that was what the extension of the cocktailery is. So the cocktailery is going to be a brick and mortar. So you'll be able to come in, take cocktail classes. We will have all things that you need to make a great cocktail, except for alcohol, because we are in North Carolina, so it's a controlled state. So we'll have everything from bitters, bar tools, mixers. We'll have a bitters tasting bar. I think that people are always really intimidated by bitters. So we'll have a bitters tasting bar that you can come sit at and learn about bitters, taste bitters. So I'm really excited. It really is the extension of Liberate Your Palate. So from taking those cocktail classes to a full 360 experience, what I like to say is it's going to be the sur la table of the cocktail industry. Oh, yeah.
Oh, you almost made me curse on camera. I'm like, all right.
So and it's been able to happen because of the virtual space.
Right.
So I had this idea before, you know, we had a business plan. I was looking for investors, you know, I was looking for loans, and the virtual place happened. Right. And I was really able to capitalize on that opportunity. Once I realized how I could make my experience work in the virtual space, like how do I make a hands-on cocktail class work in the virtual space?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
how do you do this? And I was seeing like right in March of 2020, like how people were doing like a lot of free content on Instagram and Facebook Live. And I was like, they were giving out good knowledge, you know, good cocktail recipes, how to, and I was like, there really should be. And in my mind, because I've been doing this for years, I'm like, they really should be monetizing this. They really should be monetizing this. This is premium content, right? So once I found out about Zoom, saw how it worked, I could have virtual backgrounds. So margaritas, we're making margaritas in the agave fields of Mexico. If we are doing some aperitivos, we are in Italy. So I had all these amazing, interactive, engaging backgrounds. And that's kind of where I started with the Zoom classes. From that, you know, doing friends and family classes, it kind of led to doing corporate and team building classes. They'd be like, oh my God, my company would love to do this. They would love this. They would love this. I'm going to have my, human resources manager call you, whatever. So I started getting into that corporate space. And that's what we do now is the team building, virtual and corporate classes. We ship kits out. I have a fulfillment company that's located here in Rock Hill that puts the cocktail kits together. So they send out the syrup, and everything that people need for the kits. They can also order bar tools. And I really had to think of a way how I could streamline this process, because what I wasn't going to do is make 50 to 100, simple syrups and pack them up and ship them out and then get on camera and teach the class. So I really had to find great partners. I have really, really, really wonderful partners that help power what we're doing. We do about 6 to 7 classes a week. We're just only doing corporate classes right now. I'll be excited once I have my space. We should be opening the next couple of months here in Charlotte, that I'll be back doing like friends and family and in-person classes. But yeah, so we were able to, we generate a lot of money. And I don't really talk about it. Like really, it really needs to be like, how do you want to monetize your cocktail classes? How to learn how to make money. But we're in the 3 figures already this year.
Hey, I love to hear that. Hey, I think that's going to be something me and you can talk about. We're going to do it on Brown and Balance on IG one time. We can talk about how to monetize. Because I've had people ask me as well, and I know, like you say, you're doing corporate. I've done some corporate. Let's that's some more. I got you. Don't even worry about it.
It's a lot. It's a look. It'd be work. I'll be on everybody that's on the team. I've been on them. It's really about creating a great experience. And when you have corporate clients and they're paying a certain type of money, you have to show up and show out.
Yes, you do.
Every time.
Under promise and over deliver.
My grace.
Yep, that's my thing. Under promise and over deliver every single time. You have to
every time. And and then having to think about, that's another thing. So, it goes back to me having this issue of like maybe not feeling credible enough sometimes, because the cocktails we do are simple. Right.
So the best cocktails,
because they have to be translated. They have to be translated and there's an art to that. They have to be cocktails that can be translated where you're shipping them to people and they don't have to buy anything for those cocktails. Right. Say they want to go out and buy the fresh fruit and the fresh herbs, they might want to muddle, right? It has to be both ways. Oh, and can this also be made to a mocktail?
Right.
Now, you know what? Why don't you do a tea class? Okay.
I love it.
This is a virtual cocktail class.
Right. No,
I don't know how cocktails and mocktails go together, but okay.
They do. We'll talk about that.
They do. I know. I give people a hard time. I do.
There's a whole market for that.
That's another thing. I am looking forward to the cocktailer, because part of what I do want to focus on is mocktails, and basically everything that we will carry in the store, you will be able to make a mocktail with, right? You just won't have that base spirit. So there's a
big, especially now in the last year, people, like we talk, like people are more health conscious, people thinking about things, and there's a big market for that. We'll talk offline on that, but I've done my fair share of non-alcoholic cocktail classes. I had someone specifically ask me, a corporate client specifically said, we want NA Bev. I was like, cool, I got you, no problem. And I'll show you how to make it where it ain't just an easy living. You know, it ain't just
it's not just juice. We're not just making.
I mean, we're gonna show you how to properly really put together.
Yeah, and build those layers of flavor, even though it's not, alcohol based. Yeah, and that's probably one of the most challenging things for me actually is making mocktails, to make them interesting, right?
You got 3 people on this that's been on here today between Keyatta, Tiff, and me. We got you. Don't even worry about it. We got you.
Oh, and let's talk about this garden and gardening, because I garden like every summer. I build my garden. So tomorrow I'm supposed to be planting things. I'm super late, but I'm super busy. Yeah, but that was really inspiring. I was like, go get your stuff and plant, because I like having my fresh herbs in the summertime, but sometimes they grow, sometimes they don't grow.
Right. Yeah.
I mastered basil, mint. My mint was pitiful last summer. Pitiful.
We got you. You got the right person that was on this call.
And yeah, exactly. Even with the cocktaillery, one thing I did want to have is a garden that customers could pick from, and it's complimentary. So, so they can pick from it. It could either be outside or like an inside garden with like the certain kind of UV lighting. But yeah, so I need some help with that, like over the next month, trying to figure out like what that garden's going to be like. But that'll be like another experience when you come into the cocktaillery. We have fresh herbs as well as everything else in classes.
Word. I love it. Well, look, Tamu, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. I've been enjoying our talk. We went way over, but it's all good.
Oh, really? Okay.
I don't care, because it's dope information from a dope person who we all need to know. Like, that's what Brown and Balance is about. It's about reaching back, finding people that everybody might not know yet, but they need to. And that's why I reached out to you, because I'm like, you have a dope story and you have a dope product and you do really great things in this industry that need to be talked about more. So I appreciate
that. I'm over here in little Charlotte. Don't nobody be checking.
Hey, Charlotte ain't little.
They need to start checking for Charlotte.
Charlotte, y'all got a team.
Market, but they are great things happening in Charlotte, and so I'm happy to be involved.
Yeah, Charlotte has a team. Charlotte is what Atlanta was when Tiffany and them was down there like 10 years ago. So before we get you out of here, let's talk about your cocktail though. Let's get that on the screen. Tell us your inspiration on it. Let us know how you cooked it up, because that sounds amazing.
You know what? This is probably one of my most favorite recipes. So I love tequila is my favorite spirit. So when people ask me, what is your go-to? I'm normally drinking tequila. That's usually the base, right? I like things that are on the savory side as well. I don't like sweet cocktails, although I am drinking something sweet right now, but summertime is cool though. But so that's where the Ancho Reyes Verde comes in, is I want that vegetal feel to it, right? I don't want to be too sweet. So I wanted to mellow everything out. That's why we have the fresh pineapple juice and the agave syrup. And I think that cucumber really is just it just calms everything down, right? Yep. So I feel like even though there's mezcal, the Ancho Reyes and tequila, it seems really, spirit forward. That cucumber juice is really what brings everything together. And it's fresh cucumber juice is what brings everything together. So my inspiration for this is, I've been going to Mexico. I went in November. I just came back, I think last week. It was last week I came back. I really love the way that they use their spirits in their cocktails. It's always just about being bright and refreshing. The cocktails always sing. And it's just, when I'm drinking anything with tequila or mezcal, it has a whole different mellow flavor, right? So I would have loved to use maybe what I want to call it, passion fruit juice instead of pineapple juice, but we can't get it here on the States all the time. Right. So whenever I'm making a cocktail, my thing is always to choose ingredients that people can find in their local grocery store. That's what it is. because I know who the home bartender is. I've been making drinks with them, not for them, but with them since 2016. So I know exactly how far they're going to do if it comes to making a simple syrup or infusing something for a week or finding some kind of ingredient. If it ain't on Amazon and if it's not in the grocery store, they're not going to do it.
You ain't lying.
No, they're not going to do it. Okay. They're not going to do it. They're going to mess it all up or whatever. Then it's going to be on you. Like I tried it, but it wasn't great. But so I really, I love this cocktail. I think it's just perfectly balanced with all the things that people think that they're not going to like.
Right. I love it. No, that sounds really good. Like I'm going to probably try to recreate that. We got an 80-degree day tomorrow. So while I'm on the grill, that's going to be a perfect.
I want you to try it. I want you to try it. And the thing is, I don't get a chance to make really creative cocktails all the time. Because like I said, I'm always making simple cocktails or cocktails that are able to, be made at home with things you have in your pantry or in your refrigerator currently. So when I do make a recipe, I make it, and I'm not working in a bar. So people can't just come in and be like,
make that, right.
Make that, right. So if you come to that class, you get that cocktail, but if you don't ever, but that cocktail might only be for one class. Exactly. So whenever I get a chance to share like my creativity, I always like to take myself up on that. So for me, it was great to be able to create a cocktail, using all of those ingredients, because a lot of my cocktails are on the start from classics and maybe have a little twist on it. So, but I got more to offer when I can.
Gotcha. Sorry, my froze up again. Live TV. But no, Tamu, thank you again. This was amazing. Just hearing your story was really dope. I didn't know a lot about it. I kind of read about you, did a little research, but to hear it straight from you has been truly, truly amazing. If anything that myself over here with Brown and Browns we could do to help you and collab with you, work with you, anything in the future, by all means, let me know.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna look. Y'all are coming to the shop. I got a shop.
Let's go. That's what I'm talking about.
In the middle of the city that you guys are coming to, and we're doing things. So now I have a space to create, all things cocktail.
Done deal. Done deal. All right. Well, look, with that, that's the end of the live show. What we do is, man, at the end of the show, as always, I want to bring everybody on. So, Key and Tiff, if y'all are still in the green room, I know y'all probably back there up on the screen real fast. That's
hey, Tiffany's still there. And Tiffany said a lot of things today. I just really, they really resonated with me. So this was really great to always hear you speak about, your journey and the gems that you drop as well. So
thank you so much. I did an entire review on you and just sent you some business left and right. I have a lot of clients that I work with, and I do something so similar to you, but the fact that you ship and you share, your story touched my heart so much. You are the next level and even more.
Absolutely. Anything y'all want to leave the people before we get out of here?
Ditto for me. It's beautiful to see a woman who has compacted something that people were trying to scramble to figure out now or last year because we didn't know what else to do, and you've compacted this to a science. So if we could definitely figure out a way to teach that science to others and keep this cycle going, your contribution to this industry is going to revolutionize a lot, especially for people like us, people of color, that aren't even having these conversations on how to monetize stuff. Right. We just take what we get, and we don't realize that we're worthy of more. So I co-sign whatever you need in Atlanta. Look, me and Tiff, we'll hop in the whip and come see you. Like, we don't look. Listen,
we'll pull up on you in a heartbeat. We love a road
for real, like all day.
We bring it.
So
I mean, like,
so you got squad down here. So you already got a squad down here.
Like, a lot of people don't ask me about my story, but I love to share it. And this was just like a little piece of it. But yeah, for me, I'm a team mate. I'm a team member, and I can't do it alone. And it's, I want to grow together.
I'm here to water the flowers in your head.
Thank you, Mia.
Let's grow, baby.
I'm here to drink your drinks.
That part. Word. That part. Word. I ain't even want to say nothing.
Hey man, we family.
I don't want to keep it
We
100.
fam.
I didn't even want to interrupt when y'all was having this black woman magic moment. I ain't even want to say nothing. Like, no, fellas in the chat, whatever y'all is watching this on, tip from your big homie J.O. When black women are talking, and it's dope black women especially, and just let them talk. You'll learn way more life that way, man. Trust me. So with that, I love y'all. Thank y'all. There's nothing more that can be said, man. Let's get up out of here. Enjoy the rest of y'all day. Before we do leave, though, I got a dope announcement, though. For those of y'all in Chicago, man, 16th Street Bar is back. Open. Sherry was there last night. I'll be there tonight from 4 p.m. to 11. Come out, see the new spot. Come have a drink and kick it with us, man, because we're back like Mike with the ball. All right? I'm out, y'all. Thank y'all again. All right?
Thank you, guys.
All right, producer. We good.